Redditors who had a dying confession but then lived. What happened? Had a co-worker Larry who was in a job site accident. Basically, he was underneath some scaffolding when it was backed into by a vehicle and collapsed on top of him. He was pinned down, couldn't feel his legs, and was bleeding from a head wound. Larry was 100% convinced he was going to die. We were trying to pull the scaffold off and render first aid and all that, and he kept asking to use a phone to call his wife Susie. Our supervisor gave him a phone. Larry called Susie and confessed to having multiple affairs, stealing from Susie's parents, creeping on their neighbor's teenage daughter, and doing coke with Susie's sister. Larry was crying, telling her he was so sorry, begging for forgiveness. Turns out Larry was just pinned down by a couple of tubes and braces that fell together just right and was tight enough to pinch a nerve and slow circulation a bit. He got 6 stitches on his head and some bruises, and that was the extent of his physical injuries. However, he did lose his house, his pickup truck, custody of his kids and half his paycheck to child support and alimony. Plus he got written up for not wearing a hard hat under scaffolding. Edit, I talked to a guy that was working with Larry when it happened. They were taking down the scaffold and a fork truck picked up one of the cart/rack things the scaffolding was stored on. The rack wasn't secured properly, Larry's job, and when the weight shifted, the scaffolding fell off and caused a mess. Also, he said it wasn't Susie's sister, it was her cousin.